open your KineMaster, and once you open your KineMaster, you come to where you have image assets to bring in a plain background. Okay, so this is my plain background. I'll stretch it to required size that I wish to use. Okay, so once it's this, I can change the color from here to my desired color. So once you do this, you can click here and change it to any color of your choice, and this is it. And if you do not want to use this, if you have another color or a background that you've prepared or you downloaded somewhere and you wishes to use, you can just come to your layer, then media, and bring in the material, the background you want to use. So I have something like this. Okay, so and once this is it, I will stretch this, and this is it. I have this. Once that is saved, the next thing I want to bring in before I start my editing, because I want to flow with the music. So I'll come to my audio here to bring in a background music. So once I click on audio, I have tons of music here. I have before down, then better, these, and the rest of it. So you can just test one. Okay, so you test one, it the one that is okay with you can go for it. Now once you're okay with it, all you need to do is to click on this plus sign for it to be added. So I've added my music, like you can see now. So I have this. Okay, so after adding my music, the next thing I want to do, I want to start editing properly. So I'll come in here and bring in the first text I want to use. So I'll come to where I have media here. You click on layer. And once you click on layer, you come to texting. You type in what you want to use. Okay, so I have just what qualifies you, and this is it. If you're not okay with this font and you wishes to change font, you can come to where you have font here. You can click on font to change the font. Now for me, I'll be using Poppins. So I'll come to where I have sans serif, then I come down to where I have Poppins, these, and this is it. Okay, so I have this. So after bringing in this, the next thing I want to do is to animate my text. So I will come in here to where I have in animation. I want it to enter slide in left. Okay, so I have that, and that duration is okay, and I let it be. So after this, what qualifies you, the next one is going to be a resident as a home. So I'll copy this text, click on duplicate to duplicate this text. Now once I duplicate this text, okay, I have the second verse of this, then I'll click on edit to edit text. So I have residence. So I have this, what qualifies your residence as a home. I want it to be at the middle, so I can do something like this, then this is it. Okay, so I have what qualifies your residence as home. So if you play this, you're going to have something like this. Okay, and this is not how I want it to come in. I want it to come in one after the other. So what I will do is I'll shape this, come to residence, click on trim and split it left. Okay, so I have that. Okay, did you notice that? Okay, that's fine. Now I want this qualifying resident as a home to come in word by word. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate this, still duplicate it, and duplicate it again. And after duplicating it, I'll try to edit them because I want everything to be on a straight line. So I'll click on the first one and remove this. I have resident. Then try to resize this to fit into what I have here. Okay, so that is fine. Then I go to the second one and click on edit again, and this time around I just need ads. Okay, so I have this, I'll fit it in here. Okay, that's okay. Then the next one, edit. This time around I just need a. Okay, so I have this a, and make sure it fits in well. And the last one is home. So I'll come back to this and copy this text again, duplicate this text again, then edit it. This time around I'm taking this side off. Okay, so I fit in here to where I have then I can now delete this one out. Okay, see, I have that. Okay, so having achieved this, now I want to change the color of the home. So I'll come here, come to where I have my color and change it to something of this nature. Change it to this, and this is okay. So I'll also change the font. I want it to be a little bit bold, so I'll still choose popping, but this time in medium. Okay, so once this is done, the next thing I want to do, I want to animate each of this work, and I don't want them to come in at the same time. So I'll come here as, then trim left, then shift a little bit to where I have a, and trim this a to left because I want it to come in late as well. Okay, so now as if you play this, you're going to have this. Okay, so I have this and it's nice, but I want to add more effect to it, so I will have to add a keyframe. Now to add a keyframe to this workflow, you highlight this, then if you see a key, then we click on where you have the key to add a keyframe. Okay, so I have this, I click on this, then shift it to this point where the beginning of the next slide, add a keyframe, then come back to the beginning and try to move this to this point. Okay, so I can click on this in animation and take it off. Okay, so if you are playing, have something like this. Okay, so did you notice that? Okay, so I'll do the next same thing to this very one, then this. Make sure it's on a straight line. Okay, so I have that. So if you play this, you're going to see something like this. Okay, so obviously now we achieve that. Okay, so having done this, we also have to decide to add an out animation to each of these clips. Now we're going to add an out animation. It's going to be scaled down. Okay, and we'll reduce the duration to about this. So we do the same to all of this. We add a out animation and we go for scale down and we reduce it to about this. So at this point, the next thing is you want to bring in the next animation. So we have without a, so you click on your text and you type in without a. Okay, so you notice this font here is popping medium, so you change it to popping light. Okay, so you have that. Next thing you want to do, you copy this, you add an in animation and it's going to be scaled down. Okay, so you have something like this. You reduce its duration to 0.5, then we had a out animation. I'm going to use fade and you reduce this, so you duplicate this and you type in the next thing you want to use. Okay, so here we change the font to be poppins medium and we change the color to yellow, and this is it. Okay, then we arrange this well. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is to add a keyframe. So you click on the first clip, then you click on the key to add a keyframe. Then you click on this plus to add, and then you come to the beginning of the text. You shift this red line to the beginning of this text and drag this to this point. Okay, so you have something like this. Okay, so if you play this, you're going to have something like this. Okay, did you notice that? Okay, so that is it. Then you do the same thing to this one. Shift it to the little, then trim left small. Then you add a keyframe here as well. Okay, you stretch this to this. If you notice, I've not exceeded the whole of this piece. I just keep it at some point here. Okay, so this is it. So if you are playing this, I'm going to have something like this. Okay, did you notice that effect? Okay, so this is it. So to blow, make it blow like the entrance when it is coming in, you have this blurry effect. So you come to your layer, then your effect. Now if you do not have this effect, you can go to your Play Store and download this effect. So I'm going to use the mosaic blur. Okay, so I have this and try to size this to about this point. Okay, I have something like this and I want to make it to be very short, so I'll come down here and trim this part off, trim it right. Okay, so I have this. So did you notice that blurry effect? Okay, so once this is done, the next thing I want to do, I want to bring in the next text I want to use for my work. So I will type in the next text and animate it. Okay, I have this. Discover your enormous range. I'll animate it as well. Okay, so I'll come to in animation. Then this time around, I'm going to use scale up. Okay, I will duplicate this and edit this to have a. Okay, so this is it. Then I'll change the color to here itself. Then this is it. Then I'll add this, trim right because I need it to come in very short and snappy. So this, okay, to have this chromatic move. So we can download this chromatic move on that store. Then I won't fail to reduce this because I need it to be very small. Then I'll trim right. Okay, so that is done and we are done with that. So once that is done, the next thing you want to do, you bring in the next available material. Okay, so we drop this, and this time around we will have to change the color of this. So we come to our layer, then media, to bring in the next background we want to use, and this is it. Bring in something like this, then we stretch it, then we can adjust the color to suit exactly what we want. Okay, so we have this, and once we have this, then I'll add an effect. So this time around, I'll come to my effect and I'll come to blinking lights. So you can download that. Okay, so I have something like this. Okay, then at this point, I will cut it, the remaining part off. So I'll click here and trim right. Okay, so once that is done, the next thing you want to do, you still need this text, so you duplicate it, then you drag it down to the side, okay, to this point. Then this is it. You bring it to this point here. Then you do same to the next text. So you have over 44 days. You duplicate it as well. Then also drag it towards here. And you have something like this. Then you change the color to black, something like this. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so we have this. So once this is done, the next thing is you want to bring other materials. So you click your layer, then media to bring in your furnitures that you've downloaded. So in this case, I'll come to where I have these, and these will I downloaded. So having this, I will click on cropping. You go to cropping, then once you go to cropping, you click here where you have this to change the shape of this. So I'll click here where I have mouse, then I'll click here where I have shape and choose this circle, and I have this perfect shape. Okay, so what I'll do next is I will duplicate this image to about 5 places to 4. So I have like kind of 4 sample, and I'll try to change this one to different material. So I'll click on this first one. I'll click on where I have replace here. You can see I have replace. I'll click on it to replace this with something else. The reason why I'm doing this so that I won't repeat the same process again. So I'll click on this, and I have something like this to replace. But then don't worry, it is said and done. So I'll click on the next one, image here, then still repeat the same process till you complete it. Okay, so once you replace all the materials, the next thing you want to do is you want to trim them all very necessary. So at this point, this is the first material that is going to come out, then we trim the rest of it. So from here we click on trim, split left, they do the same thing here. So at this point we've achieved this. So now we want to add our in animation. Before you add on your in animation, please remember to cut off this remaining part. Let it be that get a required size you want to use, then you cut off the rest of it. So it's done. Okay, so having done this, now I will decide to animate my work. So I will click on the keyframe. I want this, and at this point I have this, so I'll click here, then bring it to in and drag this down because I want it to be coming up. Okay, so I drag it down. So if you play this, it's going to be something like this. So the next thing I want to do, I want to animate the rest of it. So I'll click on the keyframe, then have something like this. I'll have to make sure that every other of these is also have the same keyframe. Okay, so after adding the keys to at the same point across the whole thing, the next thing you want to do, you want to start animating it. So you drag it at where you have the second key and you resize it to about this point. Okay, so you do same, you go to the next one and do the same thing. Okay, so you have something like this. Okay, so you have something like this. So you come to this other point here and do the same thing. You drag it out and you reduce the size. Okay, so this is perfectly done. You do the same thing, you drag it to the left also and you reduce the size and you have something like this. Okay, so this is done. So once you play, you're going to have something like this. Okay, so did you notice that? So that's actually okay. So you come here and drag this your text across this to have this. Okay, so we have this, we have this. Okay, so we put the next keyframe, and at this point we want it to all slide out, and the next thing or coming. So you click here and I still had a keyframe across all of it all. Okay, so make sure that the keyframe all are at the same point. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this. So at this point where you have the keyframe, you move it to the left. You do same to the next one. Then you move it to the left. Make sure it's on the straight line. Then do same here. Make sure you move it. Okay. So we have that. Then can change this to this point. So once you play this, you're going to have something like this. Okay, oh, that was nice. Okay, so once you the next text you want to bring in is the house. So you come to your text and you type in your house. Okay, so you have this equal sign. You stretch this to the point you need, and you make sure it's by the middle. Then you cut this part of it, don't need it to big. Then you trim this part out. Okay, so you put in the keyframe also, and at the beginning it's coming in from the left. Okay, so at this point you still need to bring that your effect, and we are going to use the mosaic blur, and we have this, and we have to shape it well to make sure it comes in like this. Okay, so if you play this, you're going to have something like this. Okay, so once that is done, if you play this, you're going to have something like this. So did you see that? Okay, so that's it. So once this is it and this is done, you can add another keyframe here. Here you can move this upward. Okay, so that is it.